It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Canada National Paralympian Para-Alpine skiing, Kurt Oatway. How are you doing today?
It's not too bad. Just kind of wish I was over in China competing right now.
Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to play in professional sports?
Well, I was a child of sport, I guess you could say. Like I grew up ski racing, I grew up in baseball, played rugby in high school, and I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side. I'm hearing myself through your video. Yeah.
How is it like getting started in skiing?
So yeah, like I said, I was always I grew up in an ski racing program. I competed from first ski race when I was 6 years old. So competition's kind of always been something that I've done, and it just kind of has always been a part of my life as I've grown up, from youth into high school, a little bit of in university, although I didn't play NCAA. I just did like intramural, just having fun type stuff. But competitive sports has always been somewhere around me for a long time.
In 2010, what was it like getting into para skiing?
So yeah, in 2010, well, going back a little bit further, I broke my back in 2007 while attending the University of Saskatchewan, and I was doing physiotherapy and rehab and trying to get back into more of a normal state. And my physiotherapist suggested Nordic sit skiing, and I was not too excited about that, being an alpine skier. So I inquired about alpine skiing, and they hooked me up with the CADS organization out of Regina, Saskatchewan, and I just started skiing with them, kind of on mostly just like a recreational level. I had no real illusions to try and make the national team, although that was the end result. But I just wanted to just get back skiing, just kind of reconnect with something that I grew up with.
What was that like, obviously, getting into alpine skiing?
Well, it was very, I guess, rewarding. It was reconnecting with a part of my childhood, essentially. In the Nancy Green program as a kid, I always wanted to go to the Olympics and represent Canada. As we get older, we realize that some dreams are just that. But when I got into sit skiing, I realized that I could still follow through in it in a slightly different capacity, but still just as rewarding. And I was excited to see where that would take me.
What's it like in 2018 to obviously get to represent Team Canada?
So 2018 was actually the second time I represented Canada. I was made the national team in time for 2014 Paralympics in Sochi, Russia. And so the whole getting used to the spectacle that is the Paralympic Olympic Games, it didn't hit me as hard. But representing Canada, it's always an honor. You got your support of your family and friends behind you, and you got the rest of the country as well.
What was that feeling like in 2014 when you first represented Team Canada?
It was like a culmination of, childhood dream of going out and skiing for Canada, representing your country on like the highest, the most elite stage there is, right? It's like, as far as my sport's concerned, it's like making the NHL, right? So it's like you can't get higher. it's the top of the top. You're part of the 1% of the sport, and just to know that you put in all the hours and the time and the sacrifice to train to get to that point. It's just a coalescence of all those things, and it's just very rewarding at the core.
In the 2018 Paralympic Games, what were some of your favorite memories and moments?
Probably favorite memory moment would be, of course, winning the Super G, and just being there with the rest of my team, seeing the rest of my team compete, seeing their successes, and just being there for them and for Canada as a whole.
What is that like, obviously, going down the Super G?
So when you're in a race course, is like you're not really thinking about anything but the race in the moment. Like you're not thinking about, oh my God, I'm here for Canada. Like that's all before or after the race. When you're on course, there's only one thing, and it's the next turn in front of you. So it's very focused. It's a very narrow, in the moment activity where the rest of the world doesn't really exist except for what's right in front of you.
In the 2021 World Championships, what was that like for you going to the World Championship?
So the 2021 World Championships actually did not happen in 2021. They were canceled due to COVID, and the 2021 World Championships actually happened in 2022 in Norway. And unfortunately, I crashed and broke my collarbone, 3 ribs, and lacerated my lung, which took me out of those games, as well as knocked me out for China as well. So pretty disappointing all in all.
What is it like preparing for race day?
Early mornings, a little bit of stress on getting to the hill, wondering what the course is going to be like, and just trying to do what you need to do in the day to make sure you're prepared. Managing your equipment, managing your timings, any little special rituals you might have, and just focusing on the race.
What are some of your game day rituals that you have on race day?
So not too much, really. It's kind of just, wake up, eat, go to the hill, inspect. Some of the rituals don't really start until kind of in the start gate, or about to be in the start gate. You do your visualizations, some breathing exercises, just trying to calm your nerves, visualize again, get into the start gate, kind of calm down, push out the rest of the world, and go.
What are some of your favorite memories and moments while representing Team Canada on the Paralympic level?
Probably favorite memories would be just representing Canada at the games in both Russia and Korea. Just being around the team, traveling. I get to ski all over the world, and it's my job. So there's not a lot of places you can go and do that, and at the end of the day, still get paid.
What was it feeling like the first time you got to put on the Team Canada merchandise and uniform?
It was first reaction was, this doesn't quite fit properly, but they're big shoes to fill. There's a lot of legends who have come through the sport and come and gone, and you're trying to live up to their expectations and your own as well, to try to do the best for yourself and do the rest for your team, and to make the red and white proud.
Who are some people that you look up to in the sport of alpine skiing?
On the para side, or I should say on the able-bodied side, I'd say some of the old legends, like the Crazy Canucks. They were pioneers for Canadian ski racing. some of which we've kind of lost touch with over the years. But with the group that's coming through on the able body circuit now for Team Canada, there's some good potential in there, which is reassuring to see. On the para side, I'd probably say, it doesn't really get much more of a legend than Josh Dueck. The guy is a great guy to begin with. Like he's kind. He'll give you the shirt off his back if you asked him to. He knows his stuff, and is an excellent ski racer.
What is that like, obviously, getting to race alongside him?
So he's since retired now. He's been retired for a few years. He's a big family man now, with 2 kids and a lovely wife. And he's to ski with and train with him back when he was skiing is kind of a little surreal. It's just like you knew that he was one of the top guys in the world. He knew what he was doing, and you just tried to model what you were doing after what he was doing. And some of it worked, some of it didn't. And in the end, I think I did all right.
What are some of your future plans in the sport of para-alpine skiing?
As far as future plans go, right now it's not too much. I'm injured at the moment, so my shoulder is still recovering. I'm at 6 weeks post surgery on a plate and some screws in my shoulder, on my collarbone. So right now it's kind of just healing. I also have some equipment that I need to sort out. The day before I wrecked my shoulder, I crashed it for the first time, and I destroyed the seat on my sit ski. So I have to manufacture another one of those. I got to get back in shape. I got lots of training ahead of me, and it's going to be a hard push for the next couple of years, just recovering from this injury, getting my equipment back in order, and ready for the next games push.
Of course, coming off of this injury, what is that going to feel like when you are able to come up for this next games round?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell right now. It's in the future, and we don't know what that holds until this future gets here. It's just going to be training. It's training, taking it one day at a time, and just putting max effort into everything that I do, and making everything that I do to do it with intention. To not slack off, to follow my diet, to follow my recommendations, my physiotherapists and my coaches and my SNC coach, and just push myself as far as I can.
What are some of the things that you've learned in this sport so far?
Things I've learned in the sport would be don't focus on results. Go out, ski your race, do what you need to do to make your race as good as it can be. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about any of the other factors, because everybody else has to deal with them as well. And just ski your race.
What advice would you give future people looking to get into the sport of alpine skiing?
That would depend on what level that they're trying to go for. Are they looking to become like recreational skiing and just doing it for getting outside and being active? Or are they looking to get into racing? I'd probably say for the recreational skier, just get some equipment that works, that's comfortable, that fits properly, and just have fun. Like just get from top to bottom, however that happens to happen, and just have fun. For somebody who wants to get into competitive sports and competitive ski racing and sit skiing, I would say invest in good equipment right away. It might seem a little weird as part of advice, but the better your equipment when you start sit skiing, the easier it will be for you to progress faster, right? It's like if your skates aren't sharp, you're not going to learn how to skate, right? If your equipment is not moving properly underneath you, then it's gonna drive back your learning curve. And just to be patient, right? Things will come in time, and you might see where you want to be. If you just patient, and you approach everything with intention and with purpose, you'll get there eventually.
What advice would you give future people looking to go to the Paralympics, whether it's for the first time or the second time?
Just have fun. Just go to the games. If anything, just for the experience. It's nothing like anything or any other competition that you do on the regular circuit throughout the year. The Paralympics is on just a next level. Just take in the experience and don't stress about doing well. Just look at what you can do and just do what you can do.
What advice would you give those people that are preparing for the next go around for the Paralympics, whether it's due to injuries or just missing out on the Paralympic Games?
Train hard. Everybody wants to make the games. Everybody wants to win. And unfortunately, it doesn't happen for some. But if you get beat down by the fact that, oh, you're not winning, you're not progressing, or this isn't quite what you expected, then your lifespan in the sport's going to be quite short. If you're not having fun, then why are you doing it? It's something that kind of we all struggle with at some point or another. But just go out, focus on the experience, have fun, and do what you can do.
That's great advice. What advice would you give somebody that is obviously transitioning from obviously being injured, or even going from obviously competing to not competing, to obviously find new passions?
For people who say have been athletic and then become injured, become either wheelchair or lose an arm or a leg or something like that, an injury only defines you as much as you let it. To come back from injury is not hard, or sorry, it's not easy, I should say. But at the same time, it can also be not hard, as long as you got a good support structure in front of you, friends, family, parents, teammates. There's a future in sport, and sometimes people, they might say, "Oh, I can't do it like I used to. I don't want to do it at all." It is a little bit of a closed mindset, and I think the more people, the more professional athletes that become injured and who get involved in parasport, the more we penetrate into society as a whole, and we can get coverage on television, maybe organized leagues for some sports, and who knows, because where there's visibility and viewership and interest from the public, money will follow for broadcast and for whatever else.
What advice would you give those people that are transitioning from obviously being able-bodied to obviously getting into the Paralympic sports?
Somebody who's been injured, getting involved with Paralympic sport is, getting a disability is important. There's always a path ahead, and approach each day like it's a new day. What happened in the past is the past, and the only thing you can change is what happens in the future.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Social media, they can find me either on my Instagram at OatwayK, or on Facebook at just Kurt Oatway, and Twitter is K Oatway.
Thank you again, Kurt Oatway, for your interview, and best of luck in your future in the Para-Alpine skiing.
All right, thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Kurt Oatway, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thanks.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.